Holy crossbars and connectors, Batman! Hello there, Dark Knights, and welcome back to Building the Boys. We now have issue 54 of Hachette's Build the Batmobile Tumbler. Now, in this one, we've got crossbars and connectors, and we are using the piece that we built all the way back in issue 1, so we're using the nose cone. Now, this one's light work, it is. We're building a little frame that's eventually going to be going inside that nose cone. Now, I've heard varying degrees of issue with this frame, but we'll see. And then we've got some little pieces to attach to the side of the nose cone. So this is light work, right? It is. But it's necessary work. So let's get it open. Let's get this done. At the end of this one, we're talking about the casting of Justice League Mortal. Who was going to be Batman? Who was going to be Superman? Who was going to be Martian Manhunter? Who was going to be Green Lantern? Well, I will tell you all of these. And we're going to do the bizarre story of Justice League Mortal. But without further ado, let's get this one open and let's get this one built. So here's what we get inside issue 54. Not a lot. There are no screws in this one at all. This is it. So it's all pushed to fit. So as I said, light work. It's all plastic as well. There's no metal here, which is weird. But it's what we've got. So we are going to put together this frame first. Now, I've heard people just say this frame just falls apart immediately. Well, we'll see. I mean, if it does, it does. There's nothing we can do about it. It's what we got. So we've got to work with it, haven't we? Right, so that one is going to go this side like so. And then we're going to use a connector. Are both of these connectors the same? Yes, they are. Right, so, yeah, okay. So we're going to put a connector into this side. I hope this is snug. It's not. Yeah, this is just going to fall apart immediately. I don't know, it's snug-ish, but it's not going to take a lot for this frame to fall apart. We're going to put another connector in here. Just there. Twist and push. Let's get this as tight as we can. I don't know, it's snug-ish, but it doesn't feel like the best design, put it that way. But it's what it is. Right. And now this one is going to go on into there like so. So again, we'll twist and push. So that is our frame. Yeah, that's that's it for that one. So that's the frame built. This will eventually be going inside of the nose cone, but not yet. Not yet. So we're going to move that to the side, and we're going to bring over our nose cone from all the way back in part 1. Now, we have 2 of these pieces here to install. What are they calling these? They are calling these, give me a cool name. Left connector and right connector. No cool name. Terrible name. Now, are these the same? No, they're not. Right, so let's differentiate which one is which one. So, yeah, that will be E, and that will be D. So that's what's going to happen. So these are going to push to fit into the sides of our nose cone. So they should go in to these 3 holes here. Do they? Let's find out. Yes, they do. So that's that one in. There we go. Can take the other one. Same again. Oh, that one's really snug. There we go. So that's it. So that's how those are looking. That one's not fully in. It is now. There we go. That's it. That's your lot. So that's all we are doing in this one. Okay, but we are going to continue work on this one in the next one. So we are going to be putting in the floor to this, and also that frame, I believe, is going in there. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's have a chat. So that's that one done. Very little to do. Push to fit and a little frame to make. Now, this is one of those ones that's polarizing, where everyone starts complaining, where I paid $10.99 for this, or $11.99, whatever it is, and all I got was 4 pieces of plastic. I'm like, it just doesn't work like that. That's not how this works. You have paid a set price for the model. That's how it works. So it all spreads out. So you're going to get some parts that are worth way more than what you paid for the issue price, and you're going to get some that are way less. And it all balances out. Ultimately, I understand there's not enough to do. You're going to get a tumbler at the end of it, right? So that's it. That's what we signed up for. At the end of it, even though you're thinking right now, I'm not doing much, I'm not doing this, at the end of it, you have a tumbler. That's it, right? So don't stress. You're going to have a lovely, great big tumbler at the end of this. This is the way it works. So occasionally you're going to get ones like this. It's just the way it is. I've had it on everything. I had it on Iron Man. I had it all the time on Iron Man. Had it on Titanic. I've had it. I mean, I had an issue of Titanic last month. It was one screw. That was it. Done. That's it. That's your lot. I've had it on Infinity Gauntlet. I've had it on R2D2. It's fine, right? So just don't. You're gonna have a lovely tumbler at the end of it. So just chill. It'll be okay. That's all for the build instructions. If you're just sticking around for the build instructions, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to like and subscribe. It helps our channel massively. We just love how you're along for the journey, and we're going to need help to fight the foes of Gotham City. If you stick around for our talk, we are talking about Justice League Mortal. This gets just so weird. Right, so you need a Batman and a Superman. That's what you want. So they got to cast Batman and Superman. So they cast Batman, which again upsets Christian Bale, upsets Christopher Nolan, and they're like, this is taking the piss. We're currently making a Batman film. They've got that little faith in what we're doing. They're making one, and they said, we think it'd be better if your Batman didn't step on the toes of our Batman, and maybe you should wait until we finished our third Batman film and then release this. And Warner Bros. Like, nah, we're going to do it anyway. So they decided we're going for multiple Batmans. So who do they cast as the Dark Knight? Well, times change. So back in 2007, I believe this would have been okay. Now, not so much. But this is who they cast as Batman. He signed on. They suited him up. This was Batman. So that's Armie Hammer, who at the time was very much the darling of Hollywood. Everyone was looking to cast him in something. He did go on to be the Lone Ranger. He played the Winklevoss twins in The Social Network. And he was like the guy at the time. They're like, he's the next big thing. Look at this guy. Yeah, and then, now I believe he's cancelled. The last I heard, he's got some very unusual tastes, should we say. Google it if you have to. But that's yeah. So had he been in this franchise would have been a lot of power right now if it had been successful and kept going, because Batman's been cancelled. But that was Batman. So Armie Hammer has been cast as Batman, leaving us with, well, who the bloody hell do we cast as Superman? They always go on this unknown route with Superman. I don't know why, they just do. I mean, it's always Superman has to be an unknown. Even back to Christopher Reeves. Christopher Reeves was relatively unknown when he was cast as Superman. To memory, they've never cast someone, with the exception of Nicolas Cage in the movie that never was. They've never cast him and you're like, oh yeah, he's Superman. It's always just some relatively unknown or newcomer. But they did this one, so this was Superman. So that is DJ Catrona. Who? Yeah, no, you'd be all right for saying that. I mean, at that point, he hadn't really been in anything. Not really. He'd had some minor TV success. Been in a film called Venom from 2005. Not that one. Not Venom. Not that. Just a film called Venom. But he was who they went with, and you got to admit, he looks the part, right? He looks very Superman. At least he did. This is going back nearly 20 years. So yeah, he was. So there's your Batman and Superman, and they are going to be the crux of the Justice League movie. Now, like the Justice League movie they made, well, Batman versus Superman again. We'll come to that. This wasn't going to be a united Justice League. The idea of this one was going to be they were kind of the Justice League. This was going to be the story, and Batman wasn't happy with the metahumans, which again, a lot of what happened in this one went on to be in Batman versus Superman. Batman wasn't happy with metahumans, so he makes AI robots, which would do the job of the metahumans. They go haywire, and ta-da! Now we need the Justice League to take out these ones. So Batman was kind of the villain of the piece, in a way. And Batman and Superman were going to fight in this movie. So it wasn't going to be the Justice League altogether against a single threat. It was, but the bulk of the movie was about the internal conflict of Batman and Superman. There were storyboards and whatnot made, so you can see here this is storyboards of planned scenes of Justice League Mortal where Batman and Superman tussled, and here they are. So we're full steam ahead at this point. We've got Batman and Superman. They then cast everyone else. So also in this movie was Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and Aquaman. And Talia al Ghul, bizarrely, was also in this movie, and the villain. Some interesting choices coming up. And we will look at them. I also have pictures of what they look like in their outfits. So the outfits were made. They did press stills. This was, as I said, this wasn't kind of like a supposed movie. This went into production, okay? And Warner Brothers got kind of a history of this, of making movies and going, nah, and just put them away. So this went, a lot of money was spent on this movie. I'm not even kidding. But I will show you pictures of all of the cast, with the exception of Green Lantern. No one knows why. There are no pictures of Green Lantern in costume, and I think it might be because they might have been going down that CGI route they eventually went down with the Green Lantern movie. But I'll show you pictures of the pictures that exist of the cast in costume. You can take a look for yourself. But that will be coming up in issue 55. That's all for this one. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. You can contact us at buildingtheboys@outlook.com. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. And remember, until next time, Gotham needs us.